Okay, in this session, we are going to demonstrate a 9-point circle. Okay, so what we are going to do here is first we are going to construct a triangle ABC, and then we are going to show that these 9 points fall on a circle. Okay, so let's just start with the triangle. Start with the segment. Okay, and unselect, and then another segment. Okay, unselect, and then another segment. Okay, so we've got a triangle. Okay, so let's just make that long triangle like that. So let's call this triangle, this point A. Okay, and I take this point, that point is B, take this point, and that's C. Okay, so triangle ABC. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to construct the midpoints of all these sides. Take BC, construct the midpoint. Then I'm going to call that midpoint L. Okay, because in your book, it's called LM, and that's what I'm going to be using. Okay, so refer to page number 5 in your book. And this side, again, construct the midpoint. And I'm going to call the midpoint M. Okay. And then I really want to move this outside like that. Okay, you can do that. And then let me pick AB, construct the midpoint. And let me call that N. Okay, again I'm going to move this outside like that. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to join these midpoints L and M and N, and then I'm going to join N and L. Okay, okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw perpendicular bisectors of this triangle LMN. Okay, so I'm going to take this and then construct the midpoint. Then I'm going to construct a perpendicular line like that. Okay, and then unselect that, and then let me select that. I wanted to make that dotted line, and I want the color to be green. Okay, so distinguish. So that's a perpendicular bisector of this. Okay, similarly I'm going to take the MN. So let me unselect everything, and then MN, construct the midpoint, and then let me draw a perpendicular line. Okay, that's good. So now let me construct the midpoint and then construct a perpendicular line. Okay, so now unselect everything. Now you actually see that when I move the triangle, you see that the 3 perpendicular bisectors of LMN, they always intersect at a point. You see that, right? So I'm going to name that point of intersection, construct the intersection. Okay, then that intersection point, I'm going to label that as U. Okay, so now the 9-point circle, the center of a 9-point circle is this U, and the circle passes through M. So I'm going to pick, unselect everything, pick U, and then pick M, and then construct circle. Okay, so the circle, I want the solid line. Okay, so now you see that. So whenever I move the triangle, the circle always passes through LMN. You can see that, right? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw altitudes of the triangle ABC. So what do I mean by altitudes? So take the point A, the opposite side. I want to construct a perpendicular line. Okay, so let me make that a dashed line. Okay, can see that. So that's my altitude. And then I want to construct the intersection of the altitude and the side, construct the intersection. And that intersection point, okay, I'm going to call that D. Okay, so let me say okay. Okay. So the AD is an altitude. So I mean AD is perpendicular to BC. Okay. Similarly, I'm going to construct the other altitudes, B and then the opposite side. And I'm going to construct a perpendicular line. Okay. So now I take the perpendicular line and then the side and then the intersection. And that intersection, I'm going to call it E. Okay. E. So similarly, I'm going to take the other side, the AB, and then the opposite vertex here, construct a perpendicular line, okay? So now unselect everything, but the side and then the perpendicular, construct the intersection, and I'm going to call that intersection F, okay? So let me move that F outside like that, and then D outside like that. D is already outside. Okay. So now you can see that. Let me move the triangle. So what you can see slowly when I'm moving it, you see that the circle passes through DEF. It also passes through LMN. So that means that the circle is passing through midpoints of triangle ABC. It's also passing through the bases of the three altitudes. Okay. The other thing you notice when I move the triangle, you notice that the altitudes, they all intersect at a point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to construct the intersection of the altitudes, construct the intersection, and that intersection, label the intersection, I'm going to call that as H. Okay, so the three altitudes of the triangle ABC, they intersect at H. You can see that, right? So it's always intersect at a point, that's H. And H is called the orthocenter. And U is the center of this 9-point circle. H is called the orthocenter. Okay? So now what I'm going to show is, let me take the segment AH, BH, and CH, and then let me construct the midpoints of those. So let me do a segment. So let me take from A to H, that segment. Okay. So let me, okay, so let me do that. Let me pick that segment. I think that's okay. So the way it is, that's fine. And then that segment, unselect everything, pick that segment AH, then construct the midpoint. So you see the midpoint there, okay? Similarly, what I'm going to do is segment BH, okay, and then construct the midpoint. So you see that, okay? Unselect everything. Similarly, I'm going to draw a segment CH, okay, and then construct the midpoint, okay. So now let me unselect everything. So you actually see that, let me move. You see that the circle passes through LMN, the midpoints of triangle ABC all the time, passes through DEF, so which are the bases of altitudes. Also the midpoints of AH, BH, CH we constructed now. So those red dots, you see that it's passing through all those. So those are the 9 point, that's why it's called 9-point circle. So the circle passes through LMN, DEF, also the midpoints of AH, BH, CH. Okay? So now what we want to do is, we want to construct the medians. Median is what? It is the the segment joining the vertex of the triangle with the opposite midpoint. Okay, so let me unselect everything, take a segment tool, A to L. Okay, so I'm going to make that solid line, and I want to make it different color, magenta. Okay, so now you see that AL is a median. Similarly, I'm going to construct median BM. Okay, similarly, I'm going to construct the median CN. Okay, so now when I move the triangle, you see that the three medians always intersect at a point. Okay, so let me take the intersection point. So let me take two of these medians, okay, and then construct the intersection. And I'm going to name that, okay, label the intersection. I'm going to call it G, which is the centroid. Centroid is the intersection of the medians, okay. So let me unselect everything so you can see that, okay. So the last thing I'm going to do is, not the last thing, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to join this H and G, okay. So let me go to this tool. Let me take the line tool. Let me take that. Then I'm going to do a line with H and G, okay. And that line color, I'm going to make it a light blue, okay. So now you see that whenever I move the triangle, see that the light blue line, H, U, G, all those 3 points are on that light blue line, okay. Hug, H, U, G, right? So the H is the orthocenter, and U is the center of the 9-point circle, G is the centroid. All those 3 points lie on the light blue line, okay. So that light blue line is called the Euler line. So now let me draw perpendicular bisectors of the 3 sides of triangle ABC. So let me unselect everything, select the midpoint and then the side, and I want to construct a perpendicular line. And I'm going to make that dashed line, okay. And similarly, let me unselect everything, take that side, take that midpoint, and then construct a perpendicular line, okay. Unselect everything. Similarly, take the next side and then the midpoint and construct the perpendicular line, okay. So now let me unselect everything. Now you see that the perpendicular bisectors we drew now, they always intersect at a point. So I'm going to construct, so let me make sure that I unselect everything and take these 2 perpendicular bisectors and construct the intersection. The intersection point, label that, I'm going to call it O, okay. So O means the orthocenter. Orthocenter means it's the intersection of the perpendicular bisectors of the 3 sides of triangle ABC. Now you watch out the line, the light blue line, the Euler line, H-U-G-O, Hugo. It's always on the straight line. You can see that. No matter how I move it, right? No matter how I move it, H-U-G-O, always on the straight line. And that straight line is called the Euler line, okay? So with this, we have demonstrated the 9-point circle and the Euler line. And remember, with Sketchpad, you will not be able to prove anything, but you will be able to demonstrate, the theorems like this very easily with Sketchpad, okay?